DCC, ROG, match made in heaven at a poultry.
First I have to get off the couch to jump on the couch. Did you see my calves in motion? It's me. All right, hello and welcome back to DCC ROG edition. Guess what? Wait for it. We eliminated 8 designers. They were fantastic, but ultimately only one can win the day. So let's take a look at the 8 remaining. Here they are in all their chicken glory. Look at the feathers on that one. Oh no, I want to give a big shout out to all the homies that didn't make it to this round. Thank you for your participation and big ups to your work. Keep going. Wait, first I need water. Refreshed. Esther took on Dickens, and Esther was the winner. Abraham took on Brian, and Brian defeated his foe. Andreas and Bojan, Andreas won. Evangeline versus Renata, Renata took it. And then on the right side, which I'm aptly naming the turquoise side, Timothy took on Rosie, Timothy won. Raquel took on Trevor, and Trevor won, but only by like 2 percentage points. That one was loco. Lucas and Joey, Lucas won, and Cuba and Luis. Cuba took it. First off, I want to tell you guys, there's no polls on YouTube right now because YouTube snatched my last toy and they ripped it from my non-poll getting fingers. So yeah, YouTube it isn't allowing polls anymore. So that's why we have to vote on Instagram. Check the link in the description below. It'll take you to the Asus ROG page. You can click their profile and then you can vote in their story. But now we are into the 1v1 phase. Oh, so incredible. Everybody's got a nickname now. They made it to the nickname stage. As their reward, they'll be called something silly. So for our matchup today, we have Esther, Gradient Socks Belog, taking on Brian, Photo Booth Juan. The project they had to do for this round was to make an esports logo called Team Zephyrus. Zephyrus is the name of the laptop that the grand final winner is gonna receive. It's the Zephyrus G14 gaming laptop. Ba-bang, here it is, super lit. I told the participants Zephyrus was the name of a Greek god. God of the west wind, east wind. I'm not exactly sure on directions, but the wind going somewhere. So let's start the matchup. First, we'll look inside Esther's mind as she creates her design for this stage of the tournament. It looks like Esther is starting in Illustrator with the word Zephyrus. I feel like that's super appropriate already. Oh, she did a really interesting idea where she angled them against each other. Let's see if we can find any unique techniques our chickens are using. Whoa. All right, guys, let me know in the comment below, what do you think this is? It's pretty cool she's doing all this with the pen tool. A lot of people might have sketched it out first or something. By the way, Esther said that her, I asked them all for an interesting fact so then I could make up a username, not really, a nickname. Oh, she does have a sketch. Awesome. Looks like she made it with a black pen first, then filled in some of the detail with a red pen. Perhaps, perchance, but awesome. Looks like a really expressive character. So, I asked them all to send me interesting facts, and Esther said that she keeps all of her socks in a gradient. I don't think she meant all of her socks are gradient color. I think she meant like she organizes them in a gradient, like light blue to darker blue, or maybe like a rainbow gradient. So that's why she's called Gradient Socks. We'll see if she draws either socks or gradient for this design. That'd be pretty cool. It's always so interesting to see the different techniques people employ to do shading and highlighting when they're working in Illustrator. Some people use the draw inside a shape method. Some people just draw like a big shape and then they cut it out with the shape builder. So far, Esther's kind of illustration style has been like all of her corners are sharp points. It's kind of an interesting look. The highlights on the head in pink and the legs is fantastic. Brings a lot of dimension and a lot of energy because it's like a bright pink. Okay, these must be wings. Nice. Looks like she's creating some guidelines to get the perspective correct. I was trying to come up with the word perspective for like, felt like 10 seconds there, but I got it. You know your boy, he comes up with stuff, okay? Anyways, make sure to smooch like on this video. Just a gentle smooch, nothing too much. Oh, she curved the edges of the E. Smooch like for curved E's. That's what we're doing these days. You know, one thing that separates like really good designers from pretty good designers is how much detail they pay to the typography and little unique things they do to fonts to customize it. Number one, like really understanding when you look at a font, what is a cooler font. Like if you find two sans serif fonts that look very similar, how much actually difference can you see? The more difference you can see between two very similar fonts, it indicates that you have a better understanding of type. And then after that, if you're able to customize typography in a way that still looks good without overdoing it and giving it a little bit more character, that's kind of one of the things that separates a really good designer from like a fantastic designer. That's what I think anyways. I don't really know. Oh, this is lit. She's making like some sort of power surge of air around the feet of the character. This is looking so cool. It's like all the wind blowing out. Oh, I get it. It's like the character just landed, and that's why it's in this really expressive state. It's super cool. This design, I think it must have taken a while because all the highlighting and shadowing on all the little boffs of the clouds, that's some commitment to your craft, Gradient Socks, for the love of the game. Okie doke. Looks like she's doing a lot of fandangling. This is the stage where I feel like it brings a lot of character, but sometimes you fandangle a lot and it doesn't necessarily bring in that much more to your design, but this is really excellent. I wanted a winged character, but the time wasn't quite enough to figure out wing anatomy, so it's more of a cape. Okay, I see that too. I still think the wings come across. I like how the illustrative elements and the typography have equal importance on these esports logos. That's what I tried to achieve. Retrospectively, maybe I should have gone with only torso or full body with way less details. Not on the video, but after sketching and creating the rough layout, I took the thing into Procreate to play around with the lighting and colors, basically to figure out the overall feel. I used that as a guide while working in Illustrator. All right, Esther, very excellent work. Fellow citizens of the design realm, it is now time. Let's see what Brian Wan's process was like. Okay, we have another chicken starting in Illustrator. You know, can you guys leave in the comments below whether you guys started with Photoshop or you started with Illustrator? I feel like almost everybody starts with one, and then there's a stage where they think to themselves, oof, the other one's just too hard, I don't need to learn it. But then eventually they learn it, and then they feel like a Greek god. I personally started with Flash, terrible, and then I went to Illustrator and then to Photoshop. Yeah, in that order. So, yeah, let me know in the comments if you start with Photoshop or Illustrator. And then we can see what the predominant is. I honestly think it might have a little bit to do with what country you're from. I don't know, maybe not. That would be an interesting test to run. Okay, it looks like Brian's going with some really sharp Very angular lines. It's looking quite cool. It's looking very fierce. Like Project Runway. But not like Project Runway, but but fierce. Okay, Brian's nickname is Photo Booth. Doesn't really make that much sense, but he said he likes doing photography, and his photography is his hobby. So guess what, Brian? You're getting called Photo Booth. I hope you enjoy. Okay, it kind of looks like maybe a character with a tail, or that's their sword, or that's a bolt of lightning of some kind. Here we go. It looks like now he had mainly equal width line work. See that? Pulling out the stops. Until he started adding some these filled in black areas to bring it dimension. It's like a way of shading, but you just make solid filled in shapes. It's very cool. Ooh, look at that thing below the eye. Must be like maybe a break in the armor or something. Everybody knows that you look way more fierce than you do with just perfect armor, because that means that you've been in a fight, been in a number of fights. It's like having a pickup truck. If you don't have dirt on your pickup truck, you ain't using it. Oh no. Okay, here we go. Ooh, this typography looks very familiar. Pretty awesome. The typography has the same angular sharpness that the design does so far. I think he's using the shape builder now to cut out stuff. Ooh, there was almost color. Brian was like, guess what, I'm gonna add color now. Nope, never mind, I'm taking it away. Okay, nice. He's got a color palette. Wonder where that color is palette. It's by schemecolor.com. Nice. Okay, here we go. Looks like he's adding the shadows and highlights now. Ooh, nicely done. That one was like bing bong bang, half the face shaded perfectly. Excellent work. Do you think his character only has one eyeball? Or the other one's just like in shade a lot? I like it either way. It looks like his color palette has all red, but his design so far is grayscale. You know, I feel like a lot of art people and stuff, they work out like a painting in grayscale to get the contrast of shades and stuff before they bring in color. That's an interest. Maybe Brian was doing the same thing. It's possible. Nice. This is an interesting choice to take less emphasis on the typography, Zephyrus. Kind of put it down there on the side. This is quite cool. I feel like it's a bit more minimal than you see esports logos usually. Well, I will say, there's a difference between an esports logo and an esports emblem. So if you look at teams like Cloud9 or things like that, they have an esports logo, and it's just kind of a simple what you'd regularly expect from a logo. And then some teams have actual emblems, which is like a character with a lot of typography, that kind of a thing. Ooh, we're bringing back the gray. Thank you, Brian. First of all, I have to apologize for my English grammar. No apology needed, man. Your English is perfect. My design was inspired by an owl that came from Heroes of New Earth called Zephyr 2. Wow, that's cool. Okay, I've never played Heroes of New Earth, but that's lit. Plus, owls do represent bravery, boldness, and intelligence. Yes. So, kind of use that character as my idea, but I still want to make it look a little bit like a human character. If you look carefully, you can actually see the letter Z kind of merge from the letter Z with the owl idea. The eye actually is inspired inspired by the G2 Esports logo. I thought it's kind of cool to have an eye staring at you. I used Asus ROG's font, ooh, that makes a lot of sense, to maintain their brand name. Yo, excellent work, Brian. It is now time for you to decide who is going to win this matchup. Is it Esther, Gradient Socks Blog, or Brian Photo Booth 1? Thank you. All right, guys, go vote on the Asus ROG Instagram page and have your say. Which one of these design champions will make it through to the semifinal and take on either Andreas or Renata? That will be tomorrow's matchup. So come back again for that. Remember, these polls, since they're on Instagram, they only last for 24 hours. So I'm gonna be posting this video and the next 3 for the quarterfinals all in quick, rapid succession today, tomorrow, the next day, the day after that. So make sure you hop on the Instagram voting pretty quickly to have your say. All right, guys, remember to smooch like, because if we can get this video more likes and more views, then it brings a lot more attention to our amazing designers. And I think their work so far has definitely been worth it. So that's what it do, boys. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Stay awesome, possum. And I'll see you later, alligator. Bye, guys.